The Tampa Bay Lightning are simply just too much for the Florida Panthers to handle right now. Tampa Bay takes a stranglehold on this series 3-0. Andre Vasilevskiy has been absolutely elite since Game 6 of the Leafs series. Stamkos and Kucherov continue to carry for a team missing Brayden Point, and the Florida Panthers have no answer for these Tampa Bay Lightning. Is this series done? Most likely, but we're going to talk all about it. The Florida Panthers finally score on the power play. They're using 5 forwards. We'll talk about that too. We're going to talk all about the Battle of Florida and the fact that Tampa is looking like they're heading for a nice, well-needed rest heading into the next series, the winner of the Canes and the Rangers. So lots to talk about it. Let's talk about it. The first thing to note here is how good of a coach Jon Cooper is. He is absolutely schooling the Florida Panthers in how to handle your team, and that is because the Tampa Bay Lightning do all the little things right. They play team defense right. They make all the little plays right. They cheat when appropriate, and they get away with it, and that is important when it comes to winning hockey in playoff games. You might think that's a derogatory comment. It's not. You got to be able to cheat on the draw, cheat within the rules, get away with a couple things in order to win in the playoffs. You also have to get lucky on the health category. For the most part, Tampa Bay has been healthier than most, but losing Brayden Point, especially to a hip injury, is brutal. I don't think Point's coming back anytime soon. You let me know down below in the comments if you've heard otherwise. We'll talk all about the Hagel hit in a bit here, that cross-check. Let's go ahead and let's focus on Andre Vasilevskiy first. This guy has been a brick wall, and he has been impossible for Florida to solve. Why? Because the Tampa Bay team defense has been smothering Florida 5-on-5. Florida is a one-trick pony. They're excellent 5-on-5. Florida fan thinks I'm really rough on Florida before we end up talking about them because I told them going into the playoffs they had holes. I didn't like the fact that Florida won so many games in overtime. I didn't like Florida's special teams. I thought Bobrovsky could be questionable, and the only way the Florida Panthers were going to win this game is by outscoring this series was by scoring their opponents racing to 5. And they haven't been able to do that against the Bolts. That's why the Bolts are winning. Florida isn't putting up the monstrous goal totals that you would expect. Florida had the best Corsi, the best goals for in the NHL leading into this, and it is totally derailed and fallen apart thanks to playoff hockey. Vasilevskiy finding his next level or his next gear, as we all knew he can, enters the conversation as a top 3 goalie in the NHL in terms of historic purposes. Never mind just right now. You got Brodeur, you got Waugh, and then you've got an open field with people like Hasek, Carey Price, tons of names to go down the list, and Vasilevskiy is making a claim to enter that conversation now, and he's got a lot of career left, but we're not here to talk about the GOAT for goaltending. We're here to talk about why Vasilevskiy is so hard to beat, and it is because the Tampa Bay Lightning are keeping everything to the outside 5-on-5. Their penalty kill is much better than Florida's power play, and you're just not able to challenge the monstrous 6'5" Vasilevskiy without getting shots across the Royal Road, without making a move left to right, without getting rebounds, because Tampa Bay is just not letting it happen. So it's a combination of Vasilevskiy being that good and his team bailing him out. Vasilevskiy looks amazing. He is the X factor for this series, could be the X factor for the entire playoffs. These games have basically been 50-50 the entire way through, but the Lightning have been dominant over the Panthers in terms of the win sheet. You can see the Corsi, the high danger chances, a lot of things end up favoring the Panthers. This is how good Andre Vasilevskiy is playing. Bobrovsky is not playing bad. He's playing quite good. Florida has every component you need to win a Stanley Cup, including roster depth, but unfortunately they've run into a monster. That monster is the Tampa Bay Lightning. At any point in time, the Leafs, the Panthers, we can go ahead and list teams over the last 10 years that should have had a Stanley Cup, and they just haven't. It's hard to win a cup, and the Bolts are just that good at it. Kucherov and Stamkos carry this game for the Bolts. Kucherov was amazing. Stamkos, one of the best finishers in the NHL, underrated goal scorer, not in enough conversations with guys like Crosby, with guys like Draisaitl, with guys like Matthews. McDavid's in a whole nother tier right now. Stamkos has had a hell of a career. He has a hell of a time playing in Florida right now. So Florida, they're just stacked top to bottom. Victor Hedman, the defense for the Tampa Bay Lightning are there. Erik Cernak ends up scoring a goal instead of taking pucks off the face and bleeding like he has been most of the series. And Florida, what is the answer? I don't know if they have one. I don't know if there's anything Florida can do to turn this around when you're a one-trick pony that focuses on being dominant 5-on-5 in terms of getting shots and you just get outplayed by a better defensive team and a hot goalie. I don't think there's much you can do. There's only been 3 teams in the history of the NHL that I know of that have come back down 3-0. 2 have been in the modern era. The Boston Bruins were up 3-0. They lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. This is possible, but it is very improbable. So to go ahead and say this series is over is a fair announcement at this point. We have to play the games. We have to see what's going to happen. But if you want to call this series and say it's Dunsky, Tampa Bay's got it, go ahead, get out your brooms. I don't blame you for doing that. Next game, I think Tampa Bay is going to take this. I do think Tampa Bay is going to take it in a streak, but I wouldn't be surprised if Florida gets one game of bite into them, maybe even two. I'm just not seeing it from the Panthers. There's nothing out there from the Panthers that's impressing me or telling me that they're going to be able to knock off the Bolts in 4 straight. There's nothing out there for the Panthers that are telling me they're even going to be able to take a game in this series, but we'll have to watch the next game and see. And thanks for being here on this channel, Florida fan, Bolts fans. It has been fantastic. There are a ton of Florida fans out there. Hockey is revitalized down there in Florida. When you got a winner, this is what happens. So boat parade may be inbound again. But both Florida and Bolts fans, give Coach Ryan D a big thumbs up. Thanks for being here during this series. Join the Discord. We got tons of Bolts and Florida fans in there talking to us. Yes, I'll give you the plural. There's Florida fans. Ha, ha, ha. Go ahead. Join it. Subscribe to us. Be with us. These are ways you can support the channel for free. We've been growing like gangbusters. We love all of you for helping us grow like free. And if you want to go ahead and join our membership page, we would love for you to do it. We got 3 easy tiers for you to join. The join button is down below. We have these beauties here that are in our lower bowl, and our first executive suites member, a tasty snack. Thanks for being here. He'll get 1 custom video a month. He's just got a shout out. Let me know what he wants me to make. We'll go ahead and make it starting next month. We got to get through the playoffs here. First tasty snack, but let me know what you want. And if I can sneak it in this month, I'll get it done. Thank you for being here to all of our members. We also have our upper bowl members as well too. They're here to support. You know who you are. Appreciate all of you. And if you're not looking for a membership way to support the channel, super thanks always takes you there. It's the little heart with the $ down below it. But frankly, you've heard me say it enough before. The thumbs up and the subscribe, the joining the Discord, the free comments down below, the free stuff always goes a ton. So thank you for being here. This content will always be free. Let's get back to the analysis. The deserve to win-o-meter agrees with natural stat trick that this game was basically a 50-50 game. As you take a look at it, you can see 1,000 game simulations. It could have gone either way, but it's the edge of the Tampa Bay Lightning's playoff experience that gets them through there. Take a look at the scoring chances here. Florida had a ton of scoring chances, but at the end of the day, Vasilevskiy just stands on his head. This is Florida's bread and butter, this zone right here. Vasilevskiy takes it away from them. Everything else from the outside, not going to be dangerous. Unbelievable job by Vasilevskiy on the road. Tampa Bay, Bobrovsky had a good game here. 3 goals. These are deadly scoring chances as well. Tampa Bay has their own ability to score. Well done by both teams. Hagel hit time. He ends up cross-checking Luostarinen into the boards, and this is a dangerous play. Absolutely brutal. Let's go ahead. We'll play it through first. That cross-check catches him on the pants, and he is hungry for a board snack. That is dangerous. Wow. Head first into the boards, 3 feet out. Hagel ends up going to the box for a 5-minute major. But then the referees review, and they are allowed to review a 5-minute major, and they come out and they call it 2 minutes. And everybody on the planet is confused. Why do they call it 2 minutes? I have no idea. The only thing I can speculate after watching the broadcast is that the refs just didn't think he pushed hard enough and that Florida ended up toe picking. That's it. That's all I can see is that it wasn't an intent to injure. So even though the player is injured, the intent isn't there. And the referee's discretion, we've talked about it. The referee's discretion is huge. The rule book is not absolute. The rule book says referee's discretion. They use that discretionary power. They give Hagel 2 minutes. Totally changes the game. Complete shell shocker for Florida. What should or shouldn't have happened? You're going to let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this one. This is playoff hockey. There are dangerous hits that happen all over the ice. We covered the Avs and the Blues. We talked about Girard. We talked about Binnington. There are dangerous plays at all points in time in the playoffs. That is hockey for you. What do I think Hagel did here? I mean, if I had the power of the pencil, as they say, I think the rule book should be written very simply that if you cross-check, you cross-check. That's the end of it. This is a cross-check. He's injured. It's a 5. But that's not the way the rule book is written. The rule book is simply written to allow the referee's discretion and the intent of the player to come into effect when making a penalty or a suspension. So will a suspension be inbound or not? We'll have to wait for the Department of Player Safety to report back in on that. Let me know down below if you think suspension is necessary or if a suspension is inbound. Turnover by Florida in the neutral zone sees Vasilevskiy having to make a massive save, and he just makes it look easy. Big man, does the splits, goes post to post, ends up stoning them. Could have definitely changed the game, especially when you turn it over here, line 1 with Hedman out there, pair 1, I should say. Vasilevskiy shuts it down, and these were just great scoring chances all night. They just couldn't beat Andre. First goal by Florida is Corey Perry down low doing Corey Perry things. You can see Bobrovsky's head here. Bobrovsky can't see the puck. He's looking to find it. They're playing up top. You want to play up top when you're Tampa Bay. You want to play down low when you're Florida. That's where scoring chances are going to come from for both teams respectively. They end up moving it over to the left side, and it's just a quick 1-2 pass back and forth and a loaded cannon from the point that ends up into the screen, and then Corey Perry is going to pick up that rebound and put the junk in to go ahead and lead the game 1-0. This is why Corey Perry is such an X factor for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He may not be able to skate like he once used to, but his hands are incredible. The back goalie angle here shows us the double tip 1, 2, 3 that ends up beating Sergei Bobrovsky, trickling in behind the net there. A lot of fans talk about this and they say it's a tip. It's not the goalie's fault. The goalies don't feel that way, guys. Look, these are the top 60 goalies in the NHL. He's a top 10 goalie in the NHL. He doesn't go home and go, well, it tipped. Shucks, not my fault. In the game, he shakes it off. He thinks about the next goal. But when he goes home, he's going to break this down and realize how he can better track that puck to make the save. So it's not Bobrovsky's fault, but I'm telling you, NHL elite goaltenders are going to go home and find a way to try to make every single save in the playoffs. Bobrovsky will want to have that one back, even though it wasn't his fault. And that's why we talk about goalies critically on this channel, because goalies do that to themselves. We always fans let them off because they're our heroes. They're our best friends. You want to pump them up. However, Bobrovsky lose tracking of the puck there, even on a triple tip. He could have stayed bigger. He could have stayed higher. There was a way his angles could have kept that puck out of the net. Bobrovsky will go back. He'll watch the video just like we did, and he'll think of ways to go ahead and get better for the next goal. Florida's power play here sees an interesting setup. Ekblad ends up getting caught on the left-hand side. You know I hate 5 forwards on the power play. I think it's a junk power play. You always have to have a defenseman. Puck ends up over here. Barkov is on the top. He ends up controlling the point. I would like to have Ekblad on the top, but hey, no big deal. Sometimes defensemen and forwards get flipped around. You end up going wide, and then what you need to look here is the angle change. This is what you need to do if you're Florida. You got to play down here. This is why their power play hasn't been working. They're spending too much time playing from the top. You want to play on the half wall, and you want to go ahead and you want to play on down low here. Anything below this line is where you want to play if you're Florida on the power play in order to score on Vasilevskiy, and that is no joke. So it ends up moving out to the bumper position in the middle of the ice. Big shot on, and they end up scoring. All goals on Vasilevskiy are going to be generated in this tight area here. So really well done by Florida getting their 4 players down low. Really well done making sure Ekblad stays on the power play. Do not take him off of it. You need to have a defenseman out there, not 5 forwards. Andre Vasilevskiy again winning the game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is incredible. Florida ends up carrying it through, feeding it. It's got eyes. There's nothing the defense can do here. The defense played it perfectly here from Tampa Bay, feeding it through. One tapper there by Reinhart. I have no idea how Vasilevskiy tracked that and got his pad on it, but we talk about it all the time. Wouldn't have been his fault if it went in, but he's an elite goalie and he works on tracking that puck all day, every day. Big man can do the splits, and he ends up going post to post, saving that one. Beautiful save by Vasilevskiy. Totally changes the game with a couple of these. Still a tie game. Florida gets caught running around in their own zone here. You can see a little bit out of position, a little bit too aggressive. The problem with this one here is that when you're making a hit, you need puck support. So here's your puck support. It's too far back. This puck support player actually needed to be a stick length away from the player engaging in the hit, but unfortunately, because they're caught running around, that's not the case. When you play 4-on-4, it always favors the offense. Now you can see Tampa Bay pick this one up. It is a 4-on-4 game because you have a battle in the corner. Both these players are neutralized right now if it's only for a second. You're going to see Cernak end up stepping in here. The pass goes through. I mean, is it luck? Is it not? Only you guys will know. I think this is a little bit luck. It sneaks under his stick. Cernak is able to pick up the puck. Bobrovsky is in trouble because it crosses the Royal Road. He has to change that angle again. And unfortunately, Florida is completely caught out of position here as well, too. So they're out of position on the first hit. They're out of position here. And now what ends up happening is Bobrovsky can't find his angle. When he can't find his angle, Cernak goes ahead and uses that screen, and he picks it top corner with a shot that has eyes. That is difficult. Not Bobrovsky's fault. Florida's got to do better in their own D zone. This is the game-winning goal, in my opinion. Just a beautiful goal by Erik Cernak. The Tampa Bay Lightning show you the puck moves faster than the man. Victor Hedman here on the fast break. You get a quick little D-to-D pass here. Hedman up ice. You hear me talk about this all the time. Use your feet first. You do not pass before you start moving your feet. Feet go first. Head goes next, meaning use your brain. Third thing is your hands. So Hedman takes the 4 or 5 strides, and with his head up, ends up making a beautiful breakout play here. Awesome off the boards bank. Way to stay on side here. The Stamkos goal is beautiful. This is how you end up penetrating a line. There's nothing the Florida defense can do here. They just get pushed back on a beautiful 3-on-2. Stamkos ends up on the far side. You love the fact that you're driving the mid lane. That ends up taking away both of these guys. Not much you can do. That puck crosses the Royal Road. Bobrovsky has no chance against one of the most elite goal scorers in the NHL and Steven Stamkos on this one. Nothing Florida is going to do to stop this. This is just an elite 92 miles an hour. Get out of here. This is just an elite play by Tampa Bay. And this ends up putting the dagger in the heart, ahead by 2. Florida had moments of brilliance here in this game. They had chances to go ahead and take it away. Vasilevskiy shuts it down. That's the breakdown for our game today right now, Florida fan, Bolts fans. You let me know. Do you think a sweep is inbound, or do you think Florida is going to come back and take a couple here? Or heck, do you think Florida is going to go ahead and win it all? I want to hear from you. You let me know. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.